ice are just so much more reliable on offense. I think for Michael here, his tactic needs to be to take as many guns off the board as quickly as possible. Once he engages, he wants to really try to take a drone off the board per engagement. Now, I know that sounds like kind of common sense, duh. Of course, the point of the game is to destroy ships. But as James loses drones, his offensive efficiency decreases drastically. So here we go here. All James ships moving forward. And they're just, looks like just doing 2 forward. They're all calculating. It's moving fair off. Just some technical difficulty. Right now, they're just discussing how to do the aileron. Spin, unfortunately, doesn't know that the aileron maneuver is on the top of the dial before you flip it over. And currently, I have no way of telling them that. So just could be a moment here while they figure this out. How's it going with everyone out there today? Thank you for joining us as you're watching. We appreciate it. We appreciate your participation. Yeah, I could talk. Sorry, folks. It's a long work day, and we've had a lot of stuff going on this week. Hope you're all staying safe out there, staying healthy. Obviously, we all can't wait to get back to live X-Wing gaming. But right now, this is what we got, so we're making the best of it. So Michael Spin is aileroning to the ship right, and then he's going to reveal a 1 bank forward. Just going to focus. Inquisitor doing a 2 forward. Spin deciding on his actions here. Rocker Crocker, Greg's having some technical difficulties at the moment. He will be with us as soon as he can. Bear with me just a moment. I'm going to have to talk to the guys. So audio may seem a little confusing. Please spin. 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 Can you hear me? Okay. So when you, yeah, I can hear you now. So after you set your dial in, before you flip the dial over, if you hover on the R, you see right on the card that you click that and you'll do your aileron maneuver. Yeah, you do. No problem. Okay, back with you now. Thank you for helping us dealing with this technical difficulties. So we got Vader and Grand Inquisitor doing 2 forwards, going back to dials. I'm not sure if I really like Grand Inquisitor and Vader. Or actually, I don't mind Grand Inquisitor and Vader's initial maneuver. Would have liked to maybe watch them go a little bit faster upside. These ships are definitely more maneuverable than the Federation drones. I'm not crazy about Faroff being kind of cocked off to the side like that because, especially a one-die defense ship, uh, James's swarm could just melt that ship. So it'll be interesting to see here. I think, in all likelihood, James is going to 2 or 3 straight with his entire squad again before turning them in the turn after. I would really like to see Spin kind of aileron right, ship right with his Reaper and continue to bring the fighters up the right side of the board fast. So, yep, looks like James is keeping it casual with 2 forward from the droids. Just calculating with all of them. Now on to Spin. He's going to aileron. He decides to aileron 1 forward. And does a 0 stop. Interesting. 5 forward from the Grand Inquisitor. And see what he's going to do. Deciding on the action right now. As he's deciding, oh, do I hear some music? Do I hear some music? Has Greg given us the music? I believe Greg has given us the music, folks. So now you have a little something else to listen to other than my voice. So Vader's doing a 2-bank. Grand Inquisitor boosts in 1. I believe our initial engagement is going to happen soon. I know it's dynamite dropping. John Madden-esque quote. So right now, Spin is still deciding on Vader's action. How you doing, chat? We got a bunch of people watching. Again, we appreciate you joining us. 22 viewers. Guys, thank you so much. Guys and girls for joining us. We appreciate it. How are you guys doing tonight? Let me know in the chat, who do you think is going to win this match? I don't have the way to put the poll up, so just throw the name in there, folks. Who do you think is going to win? It's a league night match for Nickel City Irregulars. Thank you for joining us. A draft lead match. All named pilots have been drafted. You can only use the named pilots that you have drafted. All right, so Vader barrel rolls ship left. We're going back to dials. I'm not sure what I really want to see the Reaper do here. I think James most likely maybe 2 forward again, just so he can really swing everything around the next turn. Might also bank in the top. Actually, no. Shoot with the bottom 4 drones, shoot forward, hard turn in with the top 4 ships, and set up some good arcs, good positioning for the next turn. Crocker, Spin a strong ace player, so I think you can do it. Otherwise, the Swarm will melt Farah and then hunt with the Discord missiles. Spin is a very strong player. He plays Empire not exclusively, but he is not unfamiliar with these ships. He's played Vader a lot. I've seen him play Grand Inquisitor a couple times. The Reaper can be tricky. Its dial can be somewhat limiting, but given the aileron option, which he does not have right now because he is stressed, it can take some getting used to. James, on the other hand, is very comfortable with Separatist swarms. He's formed them numerous times. And it's going to be a challenge for Spin to get himself into a favorable position. James flies his swarms very methodically, He makes the right moves at the right time. So interesting to see how he decides to engage here. I would really like to see Spin maybe try to get that Reaper out of harm's way as best as possible. You want to protect Palp. He is providing for you. This is like music that we're playing climax battle epic heroes to die left. We're still setting dials right now. Anyone else in the chat? Who you got in this match? Chime in with your thoughts. How do you like these lists? You're all set. Here we go. Card 3 with a barrel roll, link to a calculate. Probably going to see a lot of that. Card 3, barrel roll, link to a calculate. Music's picking up at the right time. Just get ready to gauge. Excellent hard 3 maneuver going on the clouds. This is what I'm talking about with James and Swarm list. He's very proficient with them. He's had a lot of practice with these lists. He knows what he's doing. The yellow and purple drones are set up very nicely for the next turn to cut off the escape lane, if you will. Purple. It's like everyone's doing a hard 3 with calculate. So a nice little conga line of destruction coming Michael Spin's way. I think it would be favorable here. Spin up the aces. Few later to the left. Right. So it does forward with it's the fastest blue straight maneuver the Reaper has. Date turns in one bank left, deciding on the actions now. I think the Reaper's gonna be suffering some resistance. Not in a great position. All of these network calculation is almost a props. Spin right side. I've played myself numerous times. Thank you, Proctor. I appreciate that.
All right, there we go. Back again. Tell me how that sounds. Tell me how I'm sounding. Let me know, chat. Much better. All right, we're back in business. So Spin turns in, banks in one with Vader. Not sure. I think Vader's safe here. I think the target priority is going to be the Reaper, because that is what he can put the most damage through. Vader's going for a target lock. I agree with that. Spend the Force to get that focus. If Vader gets lucky here, he can take a Vulture off the board. We're just deciding on the job. I've just got to make some quick audio adjustments here, folks. So James is going to launch a Discord missile from the yellow drone. Not really getting the position he wants out of it. So Vader taking a range 3 shot at the red drone. Vader shoots, hit, crit. So the drone is definitely going to take at least a crit. He is going to spend the network calculation of the purple one. So that crit coming to the yellow drone is going to be blinded pilot. No shots for the Grand Inquisitor. James is starting at the back of his line, checking his targets, moving his way up. Purple was captured off a range 3. Rolls 2 hits. Spin rolls 2 blanks. He can spend his evade to prevent one of those damages. Take 1 shield off. Now green is going range 3 to fair off. No hit rolled. Yellow's next. Has fair off at range 2. Focus blank. It's going to spend through network calculation. He's going to spend purple's calculate token. Faroff's ability changes it to giving. So that lead drone is going range 2 on Faroff for 1 hit. Folks, it's going to spend Palpatine to prevent the damage. All right, so we are going back 2 dials. Faroff took ultimately 1 hit. I think that's definitely a win for Spin. If the position he was in, he definitely could have taken some more damage there. So the question is, what does James decide to do now? Does James decide to push his advantage on Faroff? He's not stressed, so he does have the aileron boost available to him. I don't think there's any way that he's going to avoid all the shots. We shall see. Vader's in a good position to kind of bank off to the left, and then Afterburner in around the back of James' squad and do some serious damage. Grand Inquisitor, I'm not quite sure what to do with Grand Inquisitor here. He's not in the best position. James can decide that he's got a good chance to take the base off the board. And I think that's really here for James is to get one of these. I think ultimately, if he gets one of the aces off the board early, then that's pretty much the game for James. These aces can push out so much damage onto these drones so quickly. But if James is able to get himself in a good arc on the Inquisitor, I don't think turning in on Vader is a really good idea right now. So Faroff or the Inquisitor are going to be those prime targets. Obviously, the advantage of Faroff is we take the Palpatine. See what happens there.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Hey, Greg, you're back.
I am back.
It is good to hear your voice, sir. We've got an interesting match going on. I'm not sure how much you were able to keep up with it.
Almost none, but I'm pretty sure I got the overlay right. I got 1 damage on the red drone and 1 shield on Pharaoh.
There you go, sir. You are caught up. James is in a fairly good position right now. I'm thinking he's got 2 decent targets. You can go after Faroff to keep pushing that advantage. Or, depending on what Spin decides to do with the Inquisitor, I think if you can take one of these Imperial Aces off the board early on, that's pretty much game in favor of James.
Well, I think the Inquisitor is in a very awkward spot. That doesn't leave a lot of room for him to not go over that debris. Faroff with ailerons is in an okay spot, but still needs to kind of get out of there. I like where Vader is. It's not the worst in the world.
No, he can definitely bank to the left with Vader and then Afterburner around. Put him in a good position for the next round, start whittling through these drones.
So, it looks like we've got 1 buzz droid fired, and that's kind of just denying an avenue right now. It didn't hit anything.
James was not happy with where the buzz droid ended up. He expected it to be... I think he was expecting to be able to get Faroff with it. I think maybe putting the 3 bank on the buzz droid instead of 3 straight might have been a better idea to kind of corral Vizier to where you want to go. Or, I'm sorry, Faroff. But we'll see. As I've mentioned, James is very proficient with this squad. He's flown it a bunch of times. He knows what it does and how it does it. Spin is... He flies Imperials, not exclusively, so he's not unexperienced with these ships. But we're going to maneuvers right now. Let's see what happens.
Blue maneuver, I think we're probably going to see a barrel roll and calculate to keep that stress. So it looks like Vader might be the target. We're just going for a block on Vader to prevent Vader from doing much.
Yeah, he may be putting his chips in on Vader here.
I think that's what's happening here. I think we're getting turn-ins on Vader, or he might be splitting his forces a little bit, but not much, going after Vader and Inky.
I'm not crazy about the splitting of the forces, especially with this squad, because their offensive efficiency lies in their numbers.
I agree with you. I'm not
If he
too
splits up the
insane
squad,
about this.
yeah, if he splits up the squad, he's sacrificing. He's getting multiple He's getting guns on multiple targets at once, but the quality of the guns is dropping dramatically.
Yeah, if Vader went left with a 3-bank, he could afterburners and be in a real good spot.
I agree. Bump from blue. Yeah, it looks like he is definitely buying in on going after Vader here. The yellow drone looks like was just put out there as a block on Faroff. All right, so we got an aileron bump from Faroff.
I love that move right there. I love that.
That is the great thing about these Reapers, is that once you get used to flying them, their maneuverability is just fantastic.
So the bank doesn't hit the debris, or the hard turn.
Right.
And it's gonna bank away. He has 2 force, so he doesn't need to.
Oh.
Vader is in trouble now.
Vader is not in a great position. I mean, he's got his 3 force, he's got hate, which will keep that force full, but he is just in a tough spot there. James deciding on a Buzz Droid launch here.
Green, I think green might hit. James thinking
It might
green
be a
won't.
little far. That's what James is thinking. Yeah, I'm thinking now that I kind of look at it as bird's eye view, I think Green's Buzz Droid 3 bank would be just a little past on it.
So 3 dice from Vader onto the green vulture. 2 hits. Vulture blanks out. So the green vulture is down to 1. Good time to plug the icon. So this is now range 1 from Faroff onto the yellow vulture. Nothing.
Deciding not to use Palpatine. Saving it for defense, which is a good idea.
Yellow's got a range 3 shot onto the Grand Inquisitor now. Blanks out on those shots.
Rocker Crocker, we definitely appreciate your side hustle for subs. We're not telling you what to do, what not to do. We're just saying we welcome and appreciate your subs.
It's one hit on Vader from the blue drone. Vader easily avoids. This is going to be the cyan drone on Vader range 3. Rocker, you support who you can support when you can support it. We appreciate your patronage all the same. 2 hits on Vader, has a force. That's going to be 2 evades.
The moral of the story, Rocker, is support us. We're worth it.
2 hits
Not saying those
on
other
range
guys
3. 2 evades.
Evades.
Rocker, you're the man. Thanks, dude. Appreciate it.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Subscription, Rocker. Awesome.
Carl, I'm going to need you on here all the time.
I mean, I'm not saying that my presence and my dulcet tones drives the numbers up and gets subs, but the science is pretty tight.
Vader has 1 force left, plus Palpatine has taken no damage from this shot so far. It's 2 hits. If Vader rolls paint, he's probably got this.
It's that.
Spends Palpatine. Vader takes no damage from that area.
That has just got to be disheartening for James right now. I mean,
I'm
he
very sure
put
he's
in
not
an
happy.
excellent bump. He got fantastic positioning with his squad, and we're just seeing like how good that extra little force can be from Palp. After all that, Vader's only down 1 force. That's crazy.
Yeah, that was a very smart play to use Palp on that last eyeball to not completely force starve Vader. The question is now, though, where does Vader go?
Vader's still not in a really good place because,
Like emotionally.
well, you know, he's got things he's got to work out, Greg. I mean, we've all got those life choices we've made that maybe we would like to take back at some point. He's got to learn to love the inner him.
Well, I'm just gonna say it. He had a point about sand. It's not great.
It's, you know what? I'm not crazy about the beach. I'm sorry. It's hot. Sand does get everywhere. And I don't go in the ocean because I don't like to go into an environment where I am not the apex predator. Now,
Sure.
Granted, if you saw me in my physical stature, there's not a lot of environments where I'm the apex predator. But I'm not about to add the odds to nature in its favor by going into the ocean. I've seen Jaws.
Thanks for the
right?
follow.
I've seen Jaws: The Revenge too with Michael Caine. So, but yeah, I think. I mean, do you think a hard 3 to ship left can fit here for Vader? And then Afterburner.
I don't know why you do. I think you try to plow on like as fast as you can forward. I think you 5 forward this and try to get past them all and just live with the fact you're not gonna get a shot. Regen your force.
I mean, James is still in a really good position because he can turn in on Faroff. He can go after Inquisitor. Inquisitor's probably doing a 2 or 3 bank to get into the fight a bit. Yeah, I don't think you try to chase Vader at this point. You had a good position. You made a good play against him. It didn't work out. I think you cut your losses on Vader right now and try taking down these other 2 ships.
Yeah, I think to your point, Rocker, I think if Faroff 1 banks to the right, I think that probably doesn't hit the buzz droids, but I think that might end up on the debris, take a stress. Oh, well, you're not aileroning at all, so I guess you just kind of, I think Faroff's in for a world of hurt this turn is basically what I'm getting at.
I think maybe with Faroff, you just 1 forward bump because that you're going to put yourself in a position where you get a shot.
Well, Faroff moves after that vulture, so.
Say what?
Fair-off moves after that drone. So there's no bump in one forward. One forward just goes on the buzz, which is not ideal.
No. So ignore what I just said, chat. Fair-off's got one shield down. James only has one ship that's been damaged.
2. James had red's taken a panicked pilot and green's taken 2 damage.
Yeah, I think a one bank either way for Fair-off. Probably ship right is the safest route to take. You can tuck yourself in behind that gas cloud for the shots that are potentially coming from the back half of James's squad. Although I don't think a hard one to the ship left from the teal, purple, or orange ships in James's squad is out of the question here.
No, I think we're getting 2 turns. I think we're gonna get Talon from red. Oh wait, no, he's got stress. No, so he's just gonna go do whatever. But I think green and pink are probably gonna 2-turn right, and we might get a Talon roll from purple, a hard turn from blue, and teal with sear. I think all guns go on to Fair-off this turn because that's the ship that's presenting itself right now. You can take the cloud all you want. You're a 1-dice ship with hardly any mods. You take enough shots, you're going down.
So we are finalizing dials right now, and here we go. 1 hard, keeps the stress. 2 forward, sheds the stress, calculates.
There is the 2 hard turn-ins like we thought.
I think you definitely barrel roll here just to make room for your ships. The efficiency of these drones is so good, Greg. We were talking about this with the players before the match started. Just how these drones are so much a better ship than the standard Imperial TIE fighter. The network calculations, the linked actions, the fact of what you can fit in a squad with these, along with the numbers, is just so good.
Yeah, it's a great ship. And Rocker brings up a good point in the chat too. If Pharaoh did do the 1 bank, or basically any move that isn't super fast, he's taking Discord's green, and that is gonna stay on him forever.
Yeah, if James can get that Discord onto the Reaper, he can just ignore the Reaper for the rest of the game. Fair-off's doing a 1 bank, fits in between the cloud. I don't know, Greg.
I think with the extra distance, it hits.
I think in all likelihood the buzz droid hits, but I don't think it's a guarantee.
And look where James lined his ships up. I think that's very purposeful. He's blocking any straight attempt from Vader here. So just gonna focus, has no reposition available. That's all he can do. Hope it doesn't hit. Grand Inquisitor, it looks like he landed on the cloud. Barely, but it did. Took a strain from rolling for the cloud. Vader tried a 3 straight and ended up in the crosshairs.
I'm not sure if I necessarily agree with deciding to do the 3 straight. You know, maybe the 5. I don't even think the 5 straight makes it. James just set up his drones in a really good position there.
He blocked
but
all straight maneuvers.
Yeah, I think when you're setting dials in your spin, I think if you're wanting to get out of there, you do 5. You don't do 3. I mean, granted, both scenarios he gets blocked, but if you're thinking that James is going to peel off for another target, then you got to get Vader out of there.
So it looks like we got a Discord drop. He actually drops it to block the Grand Inquisitor plan, kind of deciding which direction Grand Inquisitor is going to have to go next turn. Although I think he's forgot about the Grand Inquisitor's ability to barrel roll, which would just leave it behind.
Yeah, I really think putting it on the Reaper would have been a much better call, even if it missed. I mean, if it goes on Inquisitor, great, it goes on Inquisitor. If Inquisitor decides to not go over the cloud and go ship right next turn, sure, it gets on him, but doesn't stay on him. As opposed to the Reaper.
The only way it stays on him is if he hits that cloud, and I think he probably does. So it might stay on him, so it probably does force him left. Vader's deciding on his shot now.
I mean, you think you just go with the range 1 shot.
Yeah, I think so too. Just take
well, he might be deciding on the blue drone because he has no tokens, but again, that network calculate comes in.
So this is going to be range 1 into purple. Again, Vader hasn't been able to get any target lock, so this is just going to be 3 dice.
All right. He's got a crit blank focus. I think if anything here, you just let it lie. He does. James gets the evade. So Inquisitor going to the yellow drone, unobstructed, range 2. He's spending a force to proc his ability. So we got 3 dice coming in to the drone.
Oh my god, why is everything going wrong?
Blank focus. I don't think you spend here. You don't want to force starve yourself, especially in the next turn where you're going to be either, taking shots or strained from the cloud. I mean, you're going to hit the cloud next turn.
All right, Dice Cam is back. Man, Carl, I am having a rough start to this stream.
It's fitting, Greg, because today is the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back, and if our stream is the Millennium Falcon, it's working about as well as it did in the Empire Strikes Back. But Greg, I have faith in you as Han Solo to bang on that console and get this ship running again.
So he spends Palpatine to get one, and that is going to be a damage through onto yellow.
I'm not sure if I agree with that Palpatine spend right there. You're going to need everything you can for defense. You're not taking anything off the board here as far as drones in the position that you're in right now. And Vader's going to be taking a bunch of shots, and he's going to need all the help he can get.
Hit crit. Coming in. Now Seer is going to get a shot. He's going range 3 onto Vader. Try to get the force down so his drones can do work. 2 hits coming in. Vader rolls 4 dice. Good agility on Vader. Well, used to be good agility.
1 evade.
So that is a shield down onto Vader.
Fills Vader back up with force. That forcey goodness warms you right down to the cockle.
So blue on Vader blanks out. So cyan on Vader. Range 1. It's that extra dice. 1 crit. Vader natty evades.
Vader's just like, no.
Purple, range 1. Has to calculate, will spend for 2. Spend cyan's calculate. Smart move. Vader has a force, can spend it. Pink doesn't have shocks, it's bumps, right?
No, he's got Inquisitor range 3 through cloud, so he might as well not have a shot. Oh, 2 hits.
Hits.
Oh, and Mike's rolling
4.
5.
4 because of strain.
Oh, 4 because of the strain. Well, he'll dodge it now. If it was the 5, he would have taken 1 damage.
Has to use the cloud to turn. This is green, range 2, onto Faroff. Faroff gets the automatic evade because green has no token, right?
Right?
Rolls the evade anyway. Yellow, range 3 on Vader. 1 hit. Vader just needs 1 evade to make this work. Barely gets it, but does get it. We are back to dials, and Vader only took 1 shield.
Yeah, the dice on both ends, both offense and defense, have been very unsensational. And the players are commenting on that as well. The James's positioning has been very well. He's gotten 2 great situations with Vader, but it just hasn't been able to get that offensive efficiency that we're accustomed to seeing from these drone swarms. So the question here is, Greg, what does James do now? This is definitely probably going to be a regrouping turn for both players.
I think since you haven't really hit Vader, you only hit him for 1. All your ships are pointed in the direction. You know that the Inquisitor is not going right. Send all of your ships to face that Inquisitor.
I don't disagree with that.
You gotta keep the focus fire, because if you don't keep the focus fire, you're just gonna be picked off 1 by 1. And the fact is, Spin hasn't been able to focus his fire at all. All the damage on the vultures is spread out.
Yeah, I don't think it's a guarantee that the Inquisitor goes right. I think it's most likely.
Like, he's going straight. He's probably going left. Honestly, like, straight doesn't help him.
Yeah, straight doesn't help him. Right?
You almost have to go left, because if you go right, you're going over the cloud and you're taking the buzz droid, and that's a free crit.
Right. So, yeah, he goes. The best thing for him to do is go left. Maybe just a 1. I don't know, because you really want to stay nuzzled in the warm embrace of that gas cloud. So maybe just a hard 1 right to hopefully still catch that cloud, or a hard 1 left. Sorry, to hopefully still catch that cloud and get some extra protection from it, and then the next turn just bug out.
Maybe, but I think that probably, I don't know if that fully gets you over the cloud for next turn, but I think it does get your edge out, and I don't think you're going to get that obstruction. I think you gotta 2-bank and see if you can get past some of these, even 3-bank really, because you're not stressed. Faroff is in a good position to get a turnaround in.
The Vultures don't have a 1 bank, do they? They just have the 1 hard.
Correct. They have a 1 hard. Vader, we could see a Talon, like Rocker said, with afterburners. But I think you probably just don't even waste that charge again. I think you bank them, 3 bank them out, and just let them turn around next turn. Or maybe you do. I don't know.
Well, look at this with Vader. If you Talon roll left, if you assume that the Vultures are going in on Inquisitor, you Talon roll left, you afterburner around. James is probably going to bring that red drone, a hard 1 or a hard 2, ship right to potentially just kind of still pester Vader. If you Talon roll left, you afterburner out, you're again putting yourself in a good position to get behind that swarm next turn. Because if Spin can get Vader behind the swarm, that's huge.
And Vader does already have a lock onto the red. So if red does turn right, and Vader
it's not
Talons
the worst
roll,
thing in the world. Yeah,
yeah, that's doable. I think you've got a fan in Rocker Crocker here, Carl. Used to be a Greg boy, but now he's a Carl man.
I speak many languages, Rocker Crocker. English, bad English, among them. Hey, Greg, we're a couple rounds in. We haven't gotten a score update at all.
Oh, you know what?
Where's
been sitting in the
Gurg?
wings. So let's go to Gurg.
Is Gurg ticked off that I'm here? Is that what we're seeing here?
I'm not saying I'm not happy.
Gurg!
I'm saying I'm happy. The score after that round is Spin 12, Jimmy 0.
Thanks,
Gurg,
Gurg.
I want to ask Gurg something.
Okay.
I want to be the voice
Gurg,
of the
come
people.
back.
Talking
What is
to
it, man?
Gurg, the people want to know. Boxers or briefs?
Neither.
Oh, look at Gurg. He's just saying, I don't need it. I'm good the way I am.
I
All right,
think
so
we all
we're,
know deep in our heart that Gurg freeballs.
3. All right, so looks like we're just about set here. Spin is deciding in his head what he wants to do. What do you think he does with the Reaper?
I think the Reaper probably goes forward and sloops.
Yeah.
So green bumps into yellow, not the greatest. I think that's probably, again, just to try and get a block on the Grand Inquisitor. He's done a great job
from
of blocking.
red.
That's interesting. That still puts that Talon with an afterburst burners in good position.
Barrel rolls with yellow, trying to potentially get a block.
I think with the 2 hard, might just calculate here, try to barrel roll.
John, we do not censor Gurg here. We let Gurg say what he will.
Gurg is immune to your criticism, John Gormley.
So I don't know if this was calculated or a miscue, but we've got a 4 or 5 drone pile up.
I think it's calculated. I think he's putting all his chips in on the Inquisitor. No matter which way the Inquisitor goes right now, he's getting some decent shots on him. Although it's not, so we got the aileron 1 forward and the sloop. All right. Spin has expressed Inquisitor's bad day.
Inquisitor did go over the gas cloud, so we'll not get an action. We'll have to roll. Won't take a strain.
That's huge for Spin.
See, I don't think Sear's gonna have a shot on him, So he's going to take 4 range 1 shots.
Yeah, it's
There is the Talon,
There's
Crocker.
Talon
This
roll.
game is just speaking your mind. I don't think the boost works though. I think the boost
I think we
overlaps.
just kind of. It's tough because if you boost bank right, you're taking red out of arc, and I don't think the forward is gonna fit. Yeah, the forward's definitely not gonna fit.
He is going to boost. I wonder if he's just going to try for it. I was calling it to the right. And that does take red out of arc. Does set him up better for next turn.
All right, so no shots from Vader.
Inky will get a shot.
Every time someone says Inky, I just think of the ghost from Pac-Man.
I 100% think the same thing, but like a better ghost. So
Better
blue,
than what was in
yellow,
Pac-Man?
red have damage. So you go in on blue here. Oh wait, oh sorry, blue doesn't have damage. Green, yellow, red have damage. No one has damage. So
Yeah, I think you just go
take a
against
shot.
Indigo. Just got one less calculate to work with. Hit crit focus.
He's gonna spend a force for 3. So
Oh,
one crit
2
going through.
evades.
I didn't hear who it was on.
So Faroff's going range 1 onto the belly rub. One hit. He's going to spend Palpatine. Let's change that focus.
So that's 2 shields on Seer total. Inquisitor went in on Seer.
Okay.
I don't like that. I think you should try to get a vulture off the board, but
Yeah, I don't, because you're not going to burn down Seer with those 2 shots. You've really got to start taking guns off the board and just dramatically lowering that offensive efficiency.
so this is going to be Cyan shot now into Vader range 1. Can Vader do it again? Or sorry, this is Inquisitor, my bad. Vader can't do it again. Does he spend a friendly calculate? There's only 2 available to him. Leaves it at 1. Blanks out, and that is going to be a shield down on the Inky.
Wow. Both players commenting on their dissatisfaction with the dice. Another range 1 shot.
Ooh, pink.
3 hits coming in on the Inquisitor. 2 evades, only takes 1. So we're deciding on a calculate token spend through network calculations.
So he's
Gonna spend yellows.
all right.
So Seer's ability coming into play. Spending ability to essentially crack shot one of those evades. So 2 damage going in on the Inquisitor.
So 2 hits coming in. Inquisitor should have a force still, maybe.
Yep, he spends the force.
Well, this is blue, range 1. Looks out, an Inquisitor is going to live, albeit with 1.
I mean, obviously the desired outcome is to take Inquisitor off the board, but shy of that, I think he still did pretty good, especially with the way the dice are going in this game.
The fact that he's still alive, pretty much all you can ask for.
Yeah.
Baroff is really the only ship that's in decent position right now.
Right. He's stressed, which actually works to his advantage in this situation, so you can just one bank, take his time, stay behind this squad. James really has to regroup here. He's played really great up until this point, getting himself into the right positions to get quality shots on a target. The dice just haven't gone his way.
Hey, Carl, I'm going to tell you this right now. We're at 96 followers, only 4 from 100.
4 away from 100. Folks, listen, if you're watching this stream, you just heard what the man said. You know we love you. We're providing quality content. Show us some love. Give us some follows. Let us hit that 100. I'll tell you what. I will make an offer right now. And don't tell Gerg about this, but he's going to have to do this. If we get to 100 followers in this stream, in this match, Gerg will read Star Wars Shakespeare.
So let me get this straight. Is you are making Gerg go to Amazon, buy Star Wars Shakespeare, get it shipped to him for a reading.
I will say this, Gerg does not need to buy Star Wars Shakespeare because I happen to have a copy where I'm currently sitting right now in my hand. And Greg, you know what else I got? I got a camera on my phone. What amazing times we live in. So I could just send him a page from Star Wars Shakespeare to have him read it. But folks, this doesn't happen until we hit 100 followers.
Well, Help Me 87 wants to hear it happen because he just followed. So we're at 97.
Oh man, it's getting close. I'm going to start thumbing through this right now. Find a quality passage.
No, that doesn't count, Rocker. That does not count.
No, we need new followers.
At 97. We need to hit 100 followers. It's not just 4. I see you trying to game the system.
All right, I think I know what passage we're going to go with.
I will tease this there, Carl. Hopefully by next Tuesday, we're going to have a new layout screen. It's going to be very fancy.
Ooh, everybody likes new toys.
Just working some kinks out on it. Now, this layout is pretty new as it is, but I wanted something more modern, more, how do you say, regal.
Okay. You want to bling it up a bit, is what you're saying.
I want to keep it clean while being minimal, and also celebrate. Because I feel like our alerts aren't great right now. Like, they're cool. It's a cool animation, but they're not like eye-catching. You know what I mean? I want it to pop. When Danku gifts them subs, I want something to pop. We're working on it. Unbelievably complicated.
Greg, I need to step away for a brief moment. I will be right back, sir.
All right. Followers are neither created nor destroyed. They merely follow more streams. Truer words were never spoken. So the vultures are in a bit of a pileup. I wonder if they start to spread out and get back into a little semblance of formation here. Might end up just getting a K-turn out of the Inquisitor. And fair enough, I would bet dollars to donuts. He's just gonna one bank right. Vader, don't know if he's gonna one bank or two bank or three bank even, and just kind of live with his positioning. He is stressed. Three hard and afterburners is an option. The way Vader is turned though, see how his angle is slightly to the right? That means the three hard's gonna put him slightly to the right, which makes his bank not fully get around. So it might not be worth it to burn that afterburner's charge just yet. And again, a lot of that depends on where red goes, but I can't see red going right. If he goes right, then the afterburners makes a lot of sense on the three hard. If he doesn't go right, then I don't see it helping any. And anyway, that's like the third or fourth time Carl got an STD.
I have returned. What did I miss? Who is dead?
Oh, nothing at all.
You sure I didn't miss anything?
Pretty sure.
What were we talking about before the show?
Oh, just Vader. Vader. What Vader's gonna do?
All right, cool.
Just Vader.
Man, I got this itch I just can't get rid of. I don't know what it is.
Weird. That's so weird.
All right, so we got dials. Are we moving? What are we doing here?
I will say, Jimmy has that 30-point lead, or that 18-point lead. So now Spin needs to get a vulture off the board here. Here we go.
Again. Okay, so we're going.
One hard from green. Just gonna calculate. What an action. Pink bumps on the one hard.
Misses the cloud. Fits in there. Misses the cloud. I mean...
Only misses the cloud because he bumps, though, so 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
He probably figured on the bump, so...
Clear stress, a nice move there.
What do you think Quiz does here? Because I'm thinking a 5 forward is really good right now.
I think even a K turn might be pretty good. Looks like you're only taking one shot as of now.
So James looks like he is setting up to re-engage Vader, which I'm not sure, given the board position of where Vader is and where he will most likely be this turn. I don't think he will get more than one good quality round of shots on him before he can reposition around them again. But I think it's a good call by James. Given the traffic jam he's in right now, he's not in an absolutely favorable position.
So Teal goes over the cloud, doesn't get a strain.
Clouds are being very merciful this game.
Seer doesn't move, probably guarantees. Oh, I'm sorry, blue doesn't bump. Seer straight ahead. Looks like he's gonna barrel roll, then focus. If Vader wasn't... There is a 1 forward from Pharaoh.
I'm not sure I'm crazy about that
I'm
because
not crazy about that either.
you're going over Cloud next turn.
To
Could
be
have one
fair,
back down. Still gotten a good shot on the drone.
to be fair, you'll have ailerons next turn to evade any Cloud shenanigans that happen.
True. Inquisitor bumps. Oh. I don't agree with that at all.
I kind of like it. It only puts him in 2 shots, and he has 2 shots to take off Blue. Vader's
bugging out. I did not see that coming from Spin. I thought
I
he was
think you
going to
do
punch
not
Vader.
spend afterburners here because
No.
you have to get rid of that stress before anything matters.
John is apparently crazy about Inquisitor's maneuver. It's tough to picture John crazy. He's normally a calm, cool, collected guy.
So afterburners are now down on Vader.
Yeah, I don't agree with that afterburner spend there. You're not taking any shots with Vader this turn.
And his 2 hearts aren't blue, so it doesn't help. So Red thinking about letting go of his discords.
He's definitely going to land on the Inquisitor.
Deciding not to throw it out because of a potential shot coming in. Oh, this is blinded pilot on Red. I've been wrong this whole game. I thought that was panicked. This is range 2 from Inquisitor Red, but I think you go on blue here. Take one of the shots on you away. Between you and Faroff, you should be able to push 3 damage through.
Yellow Jack Pim, I don't disagree with you. I think Spin could have made some better moves in this match.
I agree with you, Rocker. You try to take Inquisitor out. He just didn't think it was going to hit.
I mean, he's got 1 shot, 2 shots on Inquisitor. Inquisitor's got 1 force plus Palpatine. Spin is deciding on target right now. I think Spin has to, if he wants to have a shot at winning this game, he really has to pick up his decision-making process. I mean, nobody wants to make a wrong decision in these games, but at some point, if you don't know what to do right away, I mean, obviously, yeah, spend a little bit of time thinking about it, but at a certain point, you're just starting to hurt yourself with the amount of time you're taking off the board, especially with the amount of damage that Spin has to do here. He really wants to get these decisions flowing a little quicker.
All right, so Spin, after a lengthy dissertation, decides to go into blue. I think that's the right choice. Try to get the shot off the board before you're taking the shot. With only 15 minutes left, this has become a points game. No one's getting the elimination.
Yeah, and especially with Faroff getting the
Natty
follow-up.
evades. Oof.
Oh. Faroff deciding on a target. I mean,
He could eliminate green, could go after blue. He has the world at his fingertips. I think he still go after blue and hope. You have Palp.
Got range 1. He's trying to take stock of who has damage. He's going 2 green.
Yep. Decides on green. As Palpatine? Does he want to spend it? I think you do. Maybe he saved that. No, he does. It hit crit coming into green. And that is a dead green.
Yeah, I agree with the Palpatine spend there, especially in this situation. Vader's not taking any shots. Inquisitor's only taking 2 shots. Granted, Inquisitor has only 1 health left, but he also has 1 force. So
Green's death triggers TA 175.
The
Everyone
pinata.
getting calculates. Green off the board, still doesn't put Spin in the lead. And now Inky in real trouble.
some nice dinner music playing right now. The hors d'oeuvres are passing around. Greg, where are we at with our followers? Are we at 100 yet?
No, still at 97, bud.
Oh, man. I got a nice passage here.
So 1 crit coming into Inky. Gets the evade. Gonna Seer crack shots. Seer ability. Crack shots it. He has to spend a force to turn one of his eyeballs into so no force left for the Inquisitor and no palp. So here's the ball game on Inquisitor. Range 1. That's gonna be 3 hits. Inquisitor needs natties. Gets to not enough. And Inquisitor goes down.
So now yellow fighting on firing on Feroff.
One evade from Feroff. That should be Feroff's shields down. So pink now, range 1 bullseye is obstructed. Gonna check to see if he can network calculate. Can spend 1. Spends 1 from Teal. So the Cloud would turn 1, and then the crack shot happens. So that's going to be 1 damage going through to Feroff. 6 left.
Seer's ability could just be absolutely devastating when you get it lined up correctly. Especially with a swarm like this that typically flies in a very mathematical, straightforward formation. A lot of times you're lining up multiple bullseyes at once, and that ability could just help you chew through a ship like crazy.
So we've got just above 9 minutes left, and let's go to Gerg for a scoring update.
Thanks, Greg. The score now is Jimmy 59 and Spin 23. Did I mention I hate Shakespeare?
Weird of you to mention that, Gerg, but all right.
But Gerg, it's Star Wars Shakespeare.
Oh, Gerg's already gone.
I've heard he can be temperamental.
Oh, Gerg's got a temper.
So we've got a little under 10 minutes in this match. Most likely 2 rounds left. Best case scenario, 3 rounds left. Spin with Vader just has to get super aggressive right now. He has got to take vultures off the board. And the problem with that is that he, in trying to get having to get super aggressive with Vader, may be forced to put Vader into really bad positions.
I agree. There's no good options right now, to be honest. You need to kill 2 vultures without taking half points on Farroth or Vader. And they're both 2 away from half points. And I was gonna say, Spin is a relatively slow player. He doesn't like slow play, but he takes his time. He's not one to rush things, so unless it's dawned on him that he's down by 36, they haven't asked for a score, so I'm not gonna just volunteer it. He needs to get a move on here. With Jimmy having 7 ships to choose, these rounds are gonna take a long time.
This music we're listening to right now, Greg, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a boss fight in the game Super Contra from the Super Nintendo days. And that's a good thing, Greg.
Well, I'm glad you like it. I actually disabled the music from my headphones because I found it very hard to listen to the music, they're chatting, and talking. I'm barely getting good enough at ignoring them and not feeling like I'm talking over them when they do their thing. It's a very complicated setup we have here, Carl.
So I think given the fact that we've got 7 minutes and change left, and Spin is still setting dials, this may potentially be our last round.
Yeah, this
and
could...
if that's the case, I don't
see a victory coming out here.
I don't. I think James has got this pretty solid. Just be safe. Don't get too aggressive with your drones. Set up a block on Farroth to minimize that dice modification. Bring Vader around, take what shots you can, but I don't see Spin in a position here to be able to take 2 drones off the board.
Yeah, I just don't see a lot that can be done here.
So, Greg, what's our next match on the stream here? What's our schedule for going forward for the rest of the foreseeable week?
Well, tonight at 8:30, we have got 2 of our viewers, Barry B and Danku, playing a match. Should be a fun one. And then tomorrow, let me pull up the exact schedule so I actually give correct times. Ankle City schedule. Looks like they're ready.
So we got Town Roll.
All right, tomorrow at 4 p.m. we've got an Ontario Online Open match. And then Saturday at 12:30 we've got an Ontario Online Open match. And at 2:30 we've got a scrimmage match. So a lot of X-Wing streams coming up.
So James is pointing his guns at Vader. Can't fault him there. He's definitely in a super advantageous position in this match.
I think he knows that getting half points on Pharaoh here probably seals the game for him, as if it's not sealed yet. Technically it's not, but I think getting 2 through onto Pharaoh seals this game, and I think that's what he's going for with these vultures here. Crocker's Science Fact is ready for between rounds. So Pharaoh.
He's gonna try and it's like aileron forward. He's gonna aileron bump.
Does take the strain. Or, nope, doesn't take the strain, but he's going to have to go over that cloud again.
There's a one hard shipwright. Just gonna stay where he is.
That's great. That's great for him, I think. Vader, the 2, cannot stay stressed. Does have the target lock on red though, so that plays into his favor. As far as a chance to win, this isn't bad. So here's the final Discord missile from red. 3 straight. This prepares it for the next turn, I think. If there is one, I don't think we'll get there.
2 minutes left in this. This is going to be the last round. But just in case, good for James to throw it out there.
Vader does have a range 3 shot onto red. He has the lock on red. Has all his force available.
And I think you spend force on this attack here because you got to swing for the fences if you're spin.
Absolutely. It's a good start. We'll spend a force for
spend a force.
2 crits. Advanced targeting computer.
And one.
Oh my gosh!
Yep.
Natty evades.
Oh. That's pretty much the match right there. That's.
I'll tell you this, Carl. I've never seen a swarm game with this little amount of destruction.
It's tough when you have aces versus swarm. Regardless of the ace, they really can't joust the swarm, so they got to spend a lot of time getting in the right position to push that damage through. Spin started off fairly solid. Maybe some questionable maneuvers in the mid game. It had some situations where he needed to push damage through to take those guns off the board and he couldn't do it. This game, based on James's positioning in the game and how he flew it, this game I think went a couple rounds longer than it maybe should have. Vader just taking the 1 damage in those first 2 engagements was a huge swing in Spin's favor, and unfortunately just couldn't really capitalize on it.
So blue takes 1 damage, not enough to half point him. We are at time. Cyan's gonna go range 3 onto Pharaoh. One hit on Pharaoh. Gets the automatic evade. Rolls anyway. 3 again. 1 hit. Arif again rolls the evade. So I still don't know if Mike knows that that's the ability.
No, he knows. I think it's just a reflex to roll.
Pink on Vader. Or 1. Vader rolling 4. Gets 1. Red on Vader. Range 3. Has nothing. Yellow now, range 3. Hit crit. Coming in into Vader. Vader 2 evades. That is where it's at. I am going to let them know the score. Your score at the end of the game, it's a close one. 59 for Jimmy, 23 for Spin. So that is our league night game. Thank you guys. Stay tuned to the chat for Rocker Crocker's Science Fact. I'm going to start setting up the new game. We're